An up and then a down day for stocks. Courtney Donohoe has been watching all the action from the New York Stock Exchange, and she joins us now with the latest. Courtney.
Hey there, Pimm. Well, stocks swinging between gains and losses throughout the Friday session. Dow finishing lower, the S&P and NASDAQ finishing higher. But we have a push-pull going on, driving stocks higher, improving corporate earnings. We've got lots of reports today from Schlumberger to T. Rowe beating estimates, but pulling stocks lower. Concerns about the currency markets, where the dollar's headed. The G20 front and center. G20 officials, they're trying to end what a Brazilian finance minister calls a currency war. Countries like Brazil and South Korea intervening in the currency markets to stay competitive, and policymakers are worried we're going to see another round of devaluations to protect exports and derailing the global economic recovery. Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner shaking things up, proposing targets to cut trade surpluses and deficits, but he's running into resistance. For example, the Japanese finance minister saying setting numerical targets like keeping current account balances below 4% of GDP would be unrealistic. Geithner saying governments should not use exchange rates to get a competitive advantage without naming any countries, and urged those with significantly undervalued currencies to allow for an adjustment. But by switching the focus to current accounts and away from currencies, Geithner's hoping China's going to be a little more agreeable to let their yuan appreciate. Pimm.
All right, Courtney, I'm just going to take you away from currencies for just a moment and have you focus on earnings. Tell us about some of the big winners today. You mentioned Schlumberger, the oil service giant, the stock climbing higher today. What drove it up? The earnings results?
Yeah, well, up about 5.5%. Profit doubling for the oil field services company. Number of rigs in North America climbing 55%. CEO also saying the drilling delays from knock-on effect of the BP oil spill, that's ending, and that the recent strength in oil prices giving some optimism on the rate of recovery overseas. And T. Rowe Price, third quarter earnings climbing 27%, rising markets, growth in retirement-related funds. That's the reason investors pumping $2.3 billion into the firm's retirement funds during the quarter. But since October 7th, more than 85% of companies in the S&P that have reported so far have come in ahead of estimates.
All right, so 85 ahead of estimates. Investors liking Schlumberger and T. Rowe Price. What about investors for Verizon? What happened today?
Yeah, well, that stock down more than 1.25%. Verizon's profit fell 25%. It added the fewest number of overall subscribers in a decade. A big concern, its landline biz barely broke even. And American Express, too, I have to mention that falling today, even though profit jumped 70%. You talked about that yesterday. They had fewer overdue payments. The company says it's cautious about the economic outlook.
All right, I want to thank you very much. Courtney Donohoe reporting from the New York Stock Exchange.